Okay, now that I've gotten the chance to watch the Jurassic World Rebirth trailer quite a few times and take a closer look at all of the different scenes, let's go ahead and break down this trailer and see what we can discover about this new movie. So the trailer opens up with Dr. Henry Loomis, I assume shutting down his museum, which looks like a big callback to Jurassic Park, which is pretty cool. It brings back a nice little nostalgic factor there, and it looks like he's also meeting Zora Bennett. Then we get our first look at the tall grass, and then another first look at the brand new Titanosaurus species, which is looking really cool. I'm digging the design that they gave this giant sauropod, and I'm glad that we're just getting another sauropod species in the franchise, so that's always super fun, and it looks incredible in my opinion. Then it cuts to some Quetzalcoatluses flying in the sky on the island, and then a little bit more of an interaction between some of our main characters of the movie. And then the Universal logo pops up and we see a few more scenes of the whole crew getting together ready for this expedition to get all of this dinosaur DNA. Now we get a quick scene of them taking a boat to the island, and it looks like they're mapping out how they're gonna get there or their plans for the mission. Then we finally get some more cinematography of the island and a little scene of, again, the crew getting together and planning this out. But goodness, the island looks so beautiful. I love these fences. Everything is just screaming Jurassic Park. So it honestly gets me really excited for this. And then we get our first look at a velociraptor, and it's in an embryo chamber, and then there's a smaller little embryo of something. I'm not sure what it is, but looking at that velociraptor, this is super sweet. It looks just like the designs of the Jurassic Park velociraptors. It even has a little bit of striping on it, almost like maybe the tiger velociraptors from the Lost World, even though it's probably a whole new coloration or pattern that we haven't seen before. But it's really cool to see the pattern of the Jurassic Park raptors, or the design of them, coming back to the franchise. Now we get some more of that beautiful cinematography of the island, which I'm really enjoying the whole vibe of. We also get some interactions between the characters once again, and then it pans into them looking like they're trying to get DNA from the Quetzalcoatlus egg, which is really sweet. And again, I just love the whole vibe around how everything looks. And then, to nobody's shock, when they're trying to get the DNA from the Quetz egg, a Quetzalcoatlus comes and attacks and creates all-out havoc for our main characters. And then Dr. Henry Loomis actually falls off the side of the cliff before Zora Bennett actually saves him. So it looks like we're still gonna get some pretty cool action sequences here, so I am pretty excited by that. Now, of course, we get a little bit more cinematography and a couple more looks at some things, and then we get to see some Velociraptor sickle claws, and that is really awesome. Of course, all of you know that the Velociraptor is my favorite dinosaur from the whole franchise, so just knowing that we're getting some sci-fi scary horror element Velociraptors again is really exciting, and I'm glad that they didn't give away too much about the looks of them. I know that they showed it in the embryo a little bit earlier, but that may not even be what the Velociraptors look like in this movie. We're just not super sure, so I'm kind of glad that they hid that from the trailer, and hopefully it'll be more of a surprise for the movie. And now we finally get our first look at the new mutant dinosaur for Jurassic World Rebirth, and this thing looks absolutely nuts. It looks like some sort of dinosaur mixed with a xenomorph or something like that. It is just wild looking, and again, like I was saying in my trailer reaction, I did have a little wishy-washy thoughts on them adding a mutated dinosaur into this movie, or really even into the franchise, just because I feel like we were kind of overdone with all the hype hybrid dinosaurs and everything like that. But then when I got to thinking about it a little bit, maybe it's actually not so bad, because again, it's not like they were trying to create a hybrid. It's more of them messing up and having experiments and accidentally creating this mutant creature or mutant dinosaur, as you want to call it. And it does make it a little bit more interesting because it is the roots of the original Jurassic Park and the genetic cloning, and maybe it's just kind of where things went wrong in the beginning. So I can actually understand the concept that they're going for here. So I'm actually not completely against it, and I'm staying open-minded, and I'm interested to see how this actually goes. And then it says a new era is born, and we get a couple more cool little action sequences, which there's not really too much to say about those. And then we get hit with this unexpected little look at a Dilophosaurus. I know it's a really quick look, but I honestly wasn't expecting this in the trailer, and I honestly wasn't expecting the Dilophosaurus really even in the movie. I wasn't really thinking about it. I thought that since they brought it back in Dominion that they may let that species kind of lay to rest, but I didn't like how they did the Dilophosaurus in Dominion, so I am excited that we're gonna get to see this awesome creature once again. Now we get a quick look at our T-Rex, and then a quick look at the mutant dinosaur again, and then the scene that I know me and so many fans are anticipating, and that is the T-Rex in the river scene that is depicted from the original Jurassic Park novel. Now this is something that's got to be super exciting for all of us to see, and it may be one of my most anticipated scenes that I think is going to happen in this next movie. It's just something that's been very famous through the fandom and probably one of the most popular scenes in the original novel. So I'm super excited to see how they adapt it to this new film and onto the big screen. Then we get hit with another scene here that is going to be highly anticipated for all of us, and it looks like it's when they're trying to first get on the island, or maybe when they're trying to leave. And of course, in the ocean, we've got 3 Spinosauruses and a Mosasaurus sitting there. That equals nothing but trouble, guys. Absolutely nothing but trouble, but that is going to be so exciting for us to watch. And honestly, the Spinosaurus design is a lot different than I thought it was gonna be. It is a lot more towards the scientifically accurate version of the Spinosaurus, which I personally was hoping that we'd get the Jurassic Park 3 Spinosaurus again. But since this movie is supposed to be like the origins and the original dinosaurs that they were creating that weren't good for the park, as they say, I guess it makes sense that the Spinosaurus can look a bit different, and there's so many people out there that really do want to see a scientifically accurate Spinosaurus, so I guess I can completely understand the design change that they have here, and it does look pretty cool in my opinion. I think as time goes on, my brain will kind of separate this new scientifically accurate Rebirth Spinosaurus from the titanic giant JP3 Spinosaurus that took down the T-Rex, but again, it's a new iteration, and it's supposed to be a little bit different, so I'm not going to complain. I'm just excited to see the Spinosaurus back on the big screen. And then we once again get to see an awesome Mosasaurus, which also has a different design than it did in Jurassic World. It looks a little bit less scaly and everything, and a little bit more like a marine reptile. I feel like it's just, again, a little bit more scientifically accurate looking, which it seems like they're trying to do with a couple of the designs of the dinosaurs in this franchise or in this new movie. So again, I have nothing really against that. I do like seeing some of the dinosaurs look the same as they did in the movies prior, but again, if they're going off this premise of this being the first Jurassic Park research facility and a lot of these dinosaurs being the first creations and not the ones that they wanted for Jurassic Park, I can understand the design changes. And if they've been sitting on this island hidden for 30 years, breeding and evolving, it's not shocked that they would eventually start looking like their actual scientific counterparts instead of the genetic dinosaurs that we got for Jurassic Park and Jurassic World. And then the trailer ends with the Jurassic World Rebirth logo coming up, which is very, very cool. Again, this trailer was really awesome, and I feel like it showed a good bit of the movie, but at the same time, I feel like it didn't show too much. It still left a lot of mystery, like what in the world this mutant dinosaur is really gonna look like in its full form. They did give us a tease with the velociraptors, but didn't really show them much other than the one in the tube and the sickle claws that we saw on the ground, which again was really cool to see. Some other things that I really did like about this trailer as well is that the T-Rex design seems pretty much the same as it did for Jurassic Park and Jurassic World. It's almost kind of a fuse between the two, and it is kind of obvious looking at this T-Rex that that is clearly not Rexy or any T-Rex that we've seen in the franchise prior, which is something that I was actually really hoping for this movie. I thought it was time to let everything from the past kind of stay in the past. I thought Rexy had her time. 6 movies. I mean, that she's just been around for so long. I know she wasn't in all 6, but she's just been alive through all 6 of the movies and the whole 30-something years of the franchise. She's got to be getting old, and she's got to retire and give herself a chance to live out the rest of her years without having to be some hero dinosaur or getting this ridiculous plot armor like she did in the 3 Jurassic World movies. And again, it seems like they're keeping Velociraptor Blue, all the old characters, and things like that in the past as well, which is something that I was really, really asking for. And I'm really happy, especially about the Velociraptors, because one of my biggest gripes with the Jurassic World movies was actually the Velociraptors. And it's not that I didn't like Blue and her Raptor squad. It was more of the fact that I miss the old Velociraptors being terrifying, because to me, they were always the scariest dinosaurs in the whole franchise. And when Blue and her Raptor squad showed up, which was very fun for the first Jurassic World movie, it kind of got old as time went on, knowing that Blue was going to come to save the day instead of you having that absolute fear that a Velociraptor is going to come out of the woods and stalk you, or knowing that there's a pack of raptors and you never know where all of them are. So that's my breakdown of the new Jurassic World Rebirth trailer. Honestly, guys, I'm extremely excited for this movie, and I'm really happy that they're finally pulling the franchise back to the roots of Jurassic Park, but not completely to those roots. They're also trying to find a new way forward, or as they call, a new era, which should give us the chance to hopefully enjoy more movies in the future and to get this franchise back on track, because I know Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom and Jurassic World Dominion were not the most well-received movies, even though they were still box office hits. So if they can get the character development a little bit better like they were in the Jurassic Park movies, get the dinosaurs to be scary animals again and not some zoo animal attractions, then I think this movie has room for a lot of success, and it can breathe new life into the franchise that we all know and love. Want to see more awesome Jurassic content? Then hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications so that you don't miss any of my content. Also, check me out on Instagram and join my Discord server for so much more Jurassic fun. The links to everything will be in the description below. Check out more awesome Jurassic videos here.